when setting up a defense position with really, really long fields of fire, think, 500 to 1,000 meters out, where you can just really, really see long ways, typically defensive plans have some sort of sequencing of fire. So as the enemy comes through, what's going to happen is you're going to start initiating with those long-range mortars and artillery, which is going to attrit and disrupt them. They'll keep advancing as they try and take the objective. Then your longer-range heavy weapons and medium machine guns can engage the fight and disrupt them further. And then by the time these guys get here, suddenly your riflemen can pick up that last 300-meter distance, and they will be defeated kind of progressively, attrited down, disrupted, using all the good, characteristics of the defense to do that. But a problem can arise, though, is that the enemy isn't stupid, right? If you start shooting at them from long distances over here, it may not be the correct assumption that they're just going to keep attacking and keep assaulting. Rather, once you start shooting, they're going to be able to identify your positions. And with the artillery laying around, they're going to start seeking cover and concealment. They're going to go left. They're going to go right. And they may be very willing to engage that long-range firefight, especially if they have heavy weapons that they can call up to supplement them. So you may run into a negative effect in which you think you're going to sequence the fires, but instead what ends up happening is you end up with a really, really long-range gunfight that you do not have the ammo capacity or the heavy weapons to compete with on their level, and now they've identified your positions and they're just going to hammer you out. So instead, what could be done is that you can, instead of sequencing it, you kind of treat it like a long-range ambush. Allow the enemy to progress further into your area without shooting, and wait for them to get into a position where you can mass all of your fires in one big maelstrom of fire. So if you get to a certain point, and as soon as the riflemen can engage, suddenly everybody is engaging. The artillery, the machine guns, the riflemen, the grenadiers, everybody's able to shoot, and you can mass those fires in one big attack that then leaves very, very little room for them to try and maneuver and get cover and concealment or return fire or call off those heavy weapons in the back because they have too much committed. They've already gotten too close. Now there's nowhere to go, and you can just take them all out in one big group. This is especially valuable if you are low on ammunition or, like I said before, you don't want to engage in that long-range firefight. You just have to be careful, because if you have a significant number disparity, let's say you don't have these guys and it's just this fire team here, if this is a big disparity, you may be able to knock out a whole fire team, but what's the first rule of, react to contact? Is the enemy is going to start shooting back at you. And if you have a big numbers disparity, even if you've got supplemental, indirect fire, they may be able to suppress you, and now you're getting maneuvered and assaulted on. So things to think about. Everything's context dependent, but you got to think these things throughout, and you underestimate the enemy at your own peril.